a production of the Department of Broadcasting and Journalism at Western Illinois University.
Coming up on Live at 4, leadership changes to the city of Colchester. We'll explain who is now the acting mayor and the positions the council needs to fill.
And less than 3 months away before recreational marijuana becomes legal, Macomb officials discuss the use of cannabis in the city.
Plus, a cloudy morning followed by sunny skies this afternoon. Storm Team 3's Jared Streeter has a look at your weekday forecast coming up.
Live from Salee Hall in high definition. News 3 starts now.
We begin this evening with developing news out of Monmouth. Good afternoon. Welcome to Not Live at 4. My name is Mackenzie Irby.
And I'm Devin Brooks. The Monmouth Police Department responded to 3rd Avenue for a report of a deceased juvenile on Monday.
They believe no foul play was involved. This is an ongoing investigation.
Well, in more local news, a Hancock County jail guard is in the McDonough County Jail following allegations of sexual misconduct. Police say 35-year-old Corey Hamilton of Carthage was arrested on Friday after Illinois State Police investigated Hamilton for inappropriate behavior with a female inmate. Hamilton was taken to the McDonough County Jail with a bond set at $100,000. Hamilton is scheduled for court on October 24th.
Police are asking for information after a stabbing incident in Plymouth. Hancock County Sheriff deputies found a 33-year-old male stabbed several times on North Lexington Street in Plymouth. The victim was transported to Blessing Hospital by air evacuation and was later released. Deputies interviewed multiple intoxicated individuals on the scene, but limited information was given. The incident is under investigation. Contact the sheriff's office if you have any information. The ongoing talks of cannabis are in front and center as the officials prepare for its legalization.
Yeah, at the beginning of the year, it will be legal for adults ages 21 and older to buy and have up to 1 ounce of marijuana. But the tax cities can decide on is raising some concerns. Heather McMeekin with the Democratic Women of McDonough County went before Macomb City Council Monday to ask for the 3% sales tax on cannabis to be reduced. The council decided last month it would tax the full amount. McMeekin says this can become expensive to many people and may cause some people to get cannabis right off the street instead of from a dispensary.
These taxes can put it out of the reach of especially our elderly patients and those who are on public assistance.
The city didn't respond to McMeekin's request about the sales tax other than that it doesn't affect those who use medical cannabis. But when she brought up whether the city will encourage a cannabis facility within the city limits, Mayor Mike Emmons says they have been in support and will continue to be.
The council's discussion on cannabis is expected to continue next week.
Now on to a News 3 follow-up. Dramatic developments involving leadership in Colchester.
Yeah, former Mayor Danny Bice resigns hours before officials were set to appoint someone to fill in while he was on leave. This all happened Thursday when officials originally scheduled a special meeting to fill the role of former Mayor Pro Tem and First Ward Alderman Kevin Bloomfield. Bloomfield resigned during last Monday's City Council meeting, but instead of filling that seat, an emergency meeting was called to appoint someone as an acting mayor. The council decided 3-2 for First Ward Alderman Francie Welch. Welch is now the acting mayor until April 2021.
Right now, I've got a lot to think about, but I'm looking forward to serving the community. That's what it's been about the whole time I've been on council.
The city attorney says Welch can take on the role of new mayor, leaving her position as alderman, but Welch says she's undecided right now. She will be sworn in on October 28th.
After years of decreasing enrollment, Western Illinois is changing its requirements for students applying to Western for 2020. High school graduates with a grade point average of 3.3 and above will automatically gain admission to WIU. Western is the second public institution in the state that doesn't require test scores for admission. If a student's GPA is below 3.3, students will be considered for admission.
A WIU event is raising funds for breast cancer charities. News 3's Connell Duffy tells us about Big Pink Volleyball.
This event is put on by Thompson Hall and UHDS each year. On Monday, 32 teams competed by hitting a large pink ball, called the Big Pink Volleyball. It's all in an effort to raise money for breast cancer charities. Participants contemplated how their team would do in the match.
The first match, we're facing the women's rugby team. So, and they're actual athletes, so I have no idea.
Other participants told me why this event is important to them.
I like that it puts groups together. For us at least, we're like a fraternity, so it's getting to know each other. This is a good event for that. Plus we get to be competitive as well. And it's a good cause for breast cancer as well. So
it's for a good cause, and honestly, it brings everyone together because it's not really a competition. We're here to have fun.
The Broadcasting and Journalism Department's own National Broadcasting Society faced off against the women's rugby team.
If you have a competent team that communicates, it's an experience that's just out of this world.
Reporting for News 3, I'm Connell Duffy.
Will continue through Wednesday at the Student Rec Center from 4 until 8 p.m.
Western Illinois University's annual Take Back the Night will be celebrating its 30th year this month. This annual event will take place Thursday, October 24th, beginning at 6:30 p.m. with a resource fair followed by a march and rally right after at Circle Drive outside of Sherman Hall. This year's theme is Your Voice Has Power, Say It Louder. The march and rally is held to increase awareness on sexual assault, dating, and domestic violence and other forms of sexual assault. For more information, contact the Women's Center and the Multicultural Center.
Well, Moon Over Macomb is back once again for another year of Halloween-themed festivities. The Halloween season is upon us, and the city of Macomb is gearing up for one of its most popular events of the year. The whole family will be able to enjoy a costume parade, petting zoo, farmers market, horse-drawn trolley rides, haunted museum tours, and much more. Moon Over Macomb will be Saturday in the square from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. and is open to the public.
And a local wine business in Macomb is changing owners. News 3's Jameek Phillip has more.
For 15 years, Dave Dorsett owned the Wine Cellars, a local business in Macomb. As he reaches retirement, the business is transitioning to new owners. He says he's sure the new owners will be comfortable adjusting.
It's really, they're starting out basically the same way we did, and you have fun with the situation and you want to get into it a little more. So I think it's a pretty healthy beginning, and I'm sure they'll have a very good time with it.
The new owners, Juliana and Craig Barnes, have been longtime Macomb residents since 1994.
But probably the last 5 or 6 years, we've been coming in here on Friday nights, having a couple drinks after work on Friday. And we've gotten to know the clientele. We've made some really good friends here. And so this just seemed like a logical step for us.
Craig says this has been a long process, with other financial obligations coming up, including moving properties around.
Here just in the last 6 or 8 weeks, it really kind of started to come together.
Reporting for News 3, I'm Jameek Phillips.
The new owners will take over within the next 2 weeks.
Still to come on Live at 4, a preview of tonight's largest debate in U.S. history when the presidential candidates take the stage in Ohio.
And what police are learning after a Chicago man charged with killing several neighbors appear in court. But first, let's get a first check with weather with Storm Team 3 Jared Streeter. Jared.
Thank you guys. Another beautiful day outside, 67 degrees. Winds are a bit breezy at 17 miles an hour. As you can see behind me, a high pressure system starting to move these clouds out of the area, so it's going to be all clear skies for the rest of the night. I'll have more on our weekly forecast when we come back.
Live from Salee Hall in high definition. Live at 4 is back in a moment.
able to get hands-on work in news, and it's very similar to what you would find in a real newsroom, but everyone around here is really good about pushing you to be your best. News3 has really taught me to believe in myself and that if you work hard, you can achieve anything you want. News can sometimes be really tricky and you have a lot of roadblocks. All of us hold each other to really high standards, and I think that really shows in our newscasts.
We taught him how to hit a baseball, how to hit a receiver, the strike zone, the net. You taught him how to hit the upper corner. You even taught him how to hit the open man. But how much time have you spent teaching him what not to hit?
Really? Buzz, what's up, man? You left some leaves burning out here.
Yeah, I just came in just for a second.
Come on, man. If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. You could torch the whole neighborhood.
It's a good point there, Smokey.
9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Live from Salee Hall in high definition. Live at 4 continues.
Tonight, the Democratic presidential candidate will go head-to-head in the largest presidential primary debate in U.S. history. This will be the fourth debate of the 2020 election. All 12 candidates were required to receive 130,000 donations to secure a spot in this debate. The debate will be co-hosted by CNN and the New York Times and will start at 8 p.m. in Ohio.
A Chicago man charged with killing several neighbors in a shooting rampage was denied bail Monday. Investigators say he shot and killed 5 people in his condo building on Saturday. The suspect was reportedly facing eviction after his home was foreclosed on. Michelle Gallardo reports.
Charged with 5 counts of first-degree murder, Christoph Marek appeared in court today. Prosecutors recounting the chilling details of Saturday's shooting rampage, which left 5 people dead at a Dunning area condo building. The 66-year-old retired truck driver allegedly turning himself into police as they arrived on the scene.
The defendant exclaimed to responding officers, "I think you're looking for me. I did it."
Leading them to the weapon inside his apartment. Prosecutors say officers also found 2 handwritten notes in Polish. The second roughly translates to,
"Tomorrow, no mercy, without any stupid hesitation. Remember who you are. Remember what this is doing to you. Enough."
The victims, spread out between 2 separate condo units, include 4 family members said to have been shot as they sat around the dinner table waiting on one more person to arrive. They are Svetanka Kostadinova and Ivailo Popov, who lived in the building, and their guests, Iskra Popova and David Hanek. The 5th victim is Jolanta Topolska, who prosecutors say was shot once in the stomach. Then, as she tried to get away from the shooter, a second time in the back of the head.
Police say there's still no clear reason why he chose the victims he did or the motive.
And with employment at a historically low level, a U.S. job report says companies are trying to entice workers to stay with companies for longer. Chipotle is rolling out a new program to pay employees for college degrees. But before filling out an application, there are some rules. Employees must be with the company for at least 120 days with a minimum of 15 hours per week before applying. There are 75 degrees from 5 schools that employees can choose from, but they are all in business and technology fields. Chipotle requires employees to work 6 months after earning their degree.
Coming up next, Jared Streeter breaks down the weather forecast and what to look forward to for the rest of the week. We'll be right back.
Western Illinois University is here to serve your future. Large enough to provide opportunities, small enough to connect you to them. Your potential is our purpose. Explore your talents in a place you belong.
taking me home, taking me home. Bring me back to solid ground, taking me home, taking me home. Bring me back to solid ground, taking me home, taking me home. Bring me back, I can hear the sound.
Welcome back and good afternoon, Macomb. Nice day outside, 67 degrees, partly cloudy, humidity relatively low. However, it is a bit breezy outside with winds around 18 miles an hour, wind gusts up to about 20, 25 miles an hour. So it can feel a little bit cooler than it actually is out. Look at our average highs this time of year. 66 is our average high and 42 is our average low, which is very resemblant of what we're going to see today. Today, again, 67 degrees outside, so very close to that average. Luckily, not anywhere near that record high of 91 or our record low of 26. Looking at our current cloud cover, our clouds are starting to move out of the area as this high pressure system starting to move in, starting to move all the precipitation and clouds out of the way, making it a really nice afternoon. Looking again at our radars, not a cloud in the sky or no rain in our area. Some rain forming down into the southwest, but we're not going to see that in our area. Looking at our surface map here, we do have a high pressure system that's starting to move its way in, again, moving this cold front and the low pressure system out of the area, so we're not going to see any rain or anything. It's going to be actually a pretty pleasant couple days. Looking at today's temperatures, again, 69 up in Burlington, 65 down in Keokuk, and 67 in Quincy. Looking at tonight's temperatures, however, 40 degrees here in Macomb, 41 in Beardstown, and 41 down in Springfield. Looking at tomorrow's highs, 52 here in Macomb, 54 in Burlington, 54 in Keokuk, and again 55 in Quincy, around the mid-50s for the entire area. Again, tomorrow night, we're going to have 35 degrees tomorrow night here in Macomb, 35 in Beardstown. Looks like 35 is mostly around our area, 36 down in Quincy. Looking at tonight's temperatures, 40 degrees with partly cloudy skies. Winds, again, are going to stay around the same area, northwest at 15 miles an hour, but the wind gusts are going to make it a little bit cooler, so it's going to be up near 20, 25 miles an hour with the wind gusts as well. Looking at tomorrow, partly cloudy, another beautiful day, 52 degrees in Macomb, and the winds are actually going to stay much of the same. However, they are going to change its direction, northwest at 15 miles an hour. So let's go ahead and start to look at our 5-day forecast. We are going to have 52 degrees tomorrow, low of 35. Thursday, 59 degrees with a low of 41. Friday, high 66 with a chance of rain as we head into Friday night. 63 degrees on Saturday with a chance of rain. And Sunday with a high of 69 and a low of 54. So it is going to actually be a relatively beautiful week until we start to hit the weekend. Lows again in the 40s. So,
thank you, Jared.
No problem.
All right, and let's move over to sports.
We got a lot going on in sports this weekend around the Macomb area. Coming up next on Live at 4, we will hear from the man who gave the 11X soccer team the first win of the year. Plus, the Macomb Bombers trying to do something they haven't done since 2012, and that's beat the Rangers of Quincy Notre Dame. Also, we'll have highlights from Western Illinois football on the road. There were also some things that happened this weekend at WIU that haven't happened in a long time. That's what's next in sports.
Rooted in teaching tradition, the desire to impact lives through education marks our Western identity. We believe every student with the hope to succeed deserves a chance at our institution. We're invested in honing each student's individual strengths to turn that hope into promise. Our commitment shows in everything that we do. It guides our faculty with empathy. It grows our students with courage. It moves each of us with purpose. In Macomb and Quad Cities, all walks of life meet to share cultures, ideas, and aspirations. Together, our students welcome new perspectives, helping them bring true value wherever they go next. Whatever the next challenge or change we face, our fighting spirit strengthens and evolves. With fortitude, we remain devoted to our vision. Brave and loyal, we stand as Leathernecks. For our students, for our region, for our state, and beyond. And when we stand together, we stand up for what matters, going forth as one. And that unity takes us far beyond what we've ever imagined.
Welcome back to Live at 4. I'm Michael Dye on the Western Illinois football team looking for a win to turn around their season last Saturday on the road in Terre Haute, Indiana against the Indiana State Sycamores. And the Leathernecks know this will not be a walk in the park. Yet another tough battle lies ahead. And after no scoring in the first, well, there you see the Leathernecks are coming out of the tunnel down in Terre Haute. And now here's the highlights. Leathernecks down in the first quarter. That is Connor Sampson delivering a 23-yard touchdown to Jared Drake, and that puts the Leathernecks up 7-0. This is an Adam Fellner punt, and the reason this is interesting is because Dante Hendricks muffs the punt reception, and it's picked up and recovered by Western. They're in Sycamore territory, and they have a really good shot to extend their lead, but they can only do it by 3. A Nathan Erickson field goal makes it 10-0. But Indiana State would strike back hard in the second half. This is an Indiana State touchdown out wide, a 3-yard rollout to Dakota Canton. It's 10-7. Then in the fourth quarter, game all tied up, 10-10 now. Wilderman finds Dakota Canton again for the 6-yard strike to the back of the end zone to give the Sycamores the lead for good. Final score, Indiana State 20, Western Illinois 10. The Sycamores won this game off of the run, 210 yards on the ground on the day. WIU will be looking to recover at home on Saturday against the 11th-ranked Illinois State. In prep football news, Macomb High looked for win number 1 on the year on Friday night against the team they have not beat since 2012. It's Fight Cancer Night at MHS as the Bombers look to bring the fight to Quincy Notre Dame. And they would have to fight from behind early on, Macomb High running onto the field with that fighting spirit. For the Quincy Notre Dame Raiders in the first quarter, it's the big man tight end playing running back that gives QND the early advantage. And then QND quarterback Ike Wiley is going to take the snap out of the shotgun, look left, fire left, deep into the back of the end zone. That is Ben Casprari, and he gets a QND touchdown to put the Raiders up early in the game. But it's Macomb High's turn to score in the red zone. Senior John Ogle runs it in from the right to give MHS its first points of the game. Then Ogle strikes again. This is a nice pass from McKenna Goby, and look at this mano-a-mano fight for the football. Ogle's effort pays off, and the ref gives him a touchdown, and MHS gets points number 14. That's all they would score in this game. It wouldn't be enough for them to win. The Bombers fall in this one 40-14. MHS now 0-7, and they have 2-5 Muhammad Seymour on Friday night. Also under the Friday night lights, the Bushnell West Prairie Sparklones took down Peoria Heights 20-14. That brings the Sparklones 2-5 on the season. Next up, winless Astoria on Friday night in South Fulton. In men's soccer action over the weekend, WIU not only scored against Denver for the first time since 2014, but they beat the Pioneers 4-3. And in that historic victory on Saturday, Paul Kierdorf earned Summit League Offensive Player of the Week honors with 2 assists. And one of those assists found the head of an unlikely hero. News 3's Austin Gillentine has the story.
Thanks, Michael. On Saturday, the Leathernecks won their first game of the season and their first ever program win against the Denver Pioneers. Kierdorf earned Summit League Offensive Player of the Week honors thanks to the 2 assists he notched during the victory, the latter of which came in the 75th minute off a corner kick courtesy of Kyle Owen, which he headed into the back of the net. This was Owen's first collegiate goal of his career and the game-winning goal, which he says scoring is a feeling like no other.
It was amazing getting the first goal, and then I learned after that that was the first time someone's beaten Denver in the Summit League regular season, and it's just super humbling and super amazing to get that goal.
Reporting for News 3, I'm Austin Gillentine.
Thank you very much, Austin. And the men's soccer team they are in action right now against Detroit Mercy. This one kicked off at 3, and in the second half, WIU up 1-0. Ryan DuBois scored the first goal of the game and the only goal of the game in the 13th minute. In women's soccer news, the WIU women's soccer team was in action over the weekend, and despite outshooting North Dakota 15-10 on Sunday, the Leathernecks lost 1-0. WIU falls to 6-7-1 on the season, and over the weekend, the WIU volleyball team did something for the first time since 2007, and that's beat the Oral Roberts Golden Eagles. Not only did WIU beat the Golden Eagles, they swept them. JoJo Cruz led WIU with 12 kills. Western will be looking to start a winning streak when they face South Dakota and Denver this weekend out west. That's sports. Final word is next.
Western Illinois University is here to serve your future. Large enough to provide opportunities, small enough to connect you to them. Your potential is our purpose. Explore your talents in a place you belong. Western Illinois University is here to serve your future. Large enough to provide opportunities, small enough to connect you to them. You are unique, and we are committed to you. Become the future you at WIU Quad Cities.
Well, fall is here, and so are the haunted houses. The annual House of Pain in Good Hope is back for scare.
The Halloween sounds, lights, and special effects create a family-friendly atmosphere. All ages are welcome, and it is free to admission to those who come.
Non-perishable food donations for the local Loaves and Fishes food pantry will be accepted. And last year, this event was able to give more than 600 food items and $400 in cash donations. That was kind of, it was a little scary looking at that old video there. Former talent that used to sit up here, right?
Right.
And then they'll be on our Good Morning Macomb show here in a couple of weeks. So yeah, we'll all be dressed up, right? All right, final check of the weather.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's go ahead and look back at that 5-day forecast. It's going to be a high 52 tomorrow, low of 35, and again, it's going to be a couple beautiful days with just partly cloudy skies on Wednesday. Thursday, not a cloud in the sky, all sun with a high 59, low of 41. Friday, some clouds in the sky, high of 66, low of 48. Saturday, 63 degrees with a chance of rain and 48 as the low. Sunday, high of 69 with partly clouds and a low of 54.
That sounds good. Well, that's all for us today.
But we are online all the time. Stay up to date with us, news3wiu.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Just search our handle, News3WIU. You can also search for us on YouTube and subscribe.
And thank you for joining us this evening.
From all of us at News 3, have a good night, Macomb.